Hello.
Hello. Yay. Hello.
Hello. I'm going to pop in
Yeah.
here with Debbie's journey just to make sure it's working.
Right. And oh, yes, it is good. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm on my channel on it, so on YouTube, so we're good.
oh, good. All right.
So
So,
hello, hello, hello.
what are we doing today? We're doing Crones in the Tarot. Crone
Yeah.
energy.
Yes. There's lots of Crown energy in the tarot, but it's sometimes hard to find, especially on the decks. There's not a whole lot of decks, I don't think, that feature Crones,
Mm-mm.
but I have found a few through the years. So I've pulled out some of my favorites, and we'll talk about a couple other decks that feature women, and my favorite. We can talk about oracle decks too, because oracle decks, I think there's a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird that they aren't represented better in the tarot.
I know. Well, it's funny. They have enough decks at this point, and so many decks coming out that I bet they'll catch up and realize that there's a niche in the tarot community that isn't being filled, and we'll suddenly have a trillion.
Yeah. 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 Once we step out and say, hey, we're here still.
Yes, here we are.
Here we are.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
Very nice.
Welcome. So, first of all, let's just say, how was everybody's week? I know, Deb, you are have gone back to work and are trying to get into a routine working.
Yes.
How's that
Yeah,
going?
it's nice. They're very accommodating, which is good.
Nice.
Um, they didn't have an elevator key, but we're working on that. And I think tomorrow I'm going to bring my walker because
Good.
yesterday I didn't think I was going to get to the car. So
Oh, well, that maybe that'll make them get a damn elevator key.
yeah, but so I'm only doing 3 days a week, so it's not too bad. And
Good.
Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So it was nice to see everybody get hugs.
Yeah. And last week we talked about meditation. Did you get to meditate at all last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yeah. But once I fell asleep because I waited until I was going to bed.
I got to once. As a matter of fact, I kind of feel though like it was just one of those weeks that was really off, and I can't believe it's been a week since we were on. I'm
I
like,
know.
really?
Yeah, flew. Oh my gosh.
It went very, very fast. So I'm going to try to do better.
Okay.
And of course, the first thing I did was forget to put it in my phone. I know I said that's the first thing I said is I'm going to set an alarm in my phone. Didn't do it yet. Totally forgot.
Oh, darn it.
But I'll get there. I'll get there, especially now. I was saying I had a lovely, like a whole house blow up yesterday. And so it's needed. I feel like the universe is kicking me in the ass like, hello, I know you said something about this. You really need to do it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, the goddess 2x4. I
Exactly.
get those often.
Yes, I do too. I know my spirit guides are sometimes looking at me like I'm absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys did better than I
Mm.
did with the meditation week, and started something that can become a habit. That would be good.
What? How about Bob? Bob, did you meditate?
No.
He's
I
not
think
fun.
that's a no.
Not fun.
No.
Oh,
It's hard to get into a new habit. So it's
he needs to zen himself. Yeah.
There's not enough space in my head with the 12 voices to be able to meditate.
Weirdo. Oh my God.
trying to settle them all down at once.
Yeah, that's it.
I am never good at meditating or the habit of it.
Yeah,
It's definitely a hard one to get into.
I do it good for like a few weeks and then I drop off and then I feel yucky. So then I have to go back to it and like rebalance everything. And it's just
I
easier to keep going. I wish I would just keep going.
I know I have twice in my life I have done really well and like actually made it a habit. And then, something happens and throws you off course or whatever. But at one point I was meditating. I did like over a year straight, like I didn't miss hardly any days and everything. And it was awesome. And I really
That is
felt
wicked.
amazing.
On that.
But then, we moved. And so it was like chaotic, household, and it just didn't.
Yep.
I meditate right before bed. That's good. That works for a lot of people. Sometimes you fall asleep and, that's okay too. But I will say
your subconscious is still getting everything. Even when you're sleeping, you're still able to hear and everything. So.
That's true. Now, what I did do as kind of a meditation, which I think it counts for me. It's not enough for me, but it does count, is I started playing Hogwarts Legacy again. And I made a point of, that's kind of my me time where I can just put my headphones on and go away. I made a point of walking around when it turns night in the game. I like walk around all of Hogwarts once, which is like a long, really pretty walk. So that actually, that helps. That it makes me feel, calmer.
Yeah.
Less likely to kill people. It's a good thing. Right.
I've been using that Finch app. Just like yesterday after lunch, it's like chaotic in the cafeteria. Very noisy. I didn't realize how much noise there was up there until I stayed home for a year. So my senses are like frazzled by the time I get home. But I've been using that Finch app, and yesterday I used it after my lunch just to chill out. Is it the 333, something like that? 3 things you see, 3 things you something, 3 whatever.
Here, 3 things you can touch or something.
Yeah, and then there's a breathing one too. I did the Navy SEALs one, where you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, release for 4, hold for 4, in for 4. Oh my god,
really tough.
He's going, ow.
There's one that wants you to hold your breath for so long that I swear I'm going to pass out. I'm always like, this is not going to work. And then I'm always like, oh, I picked the wrong one. This is not it.
When you start seeing stars, then you got to breathe in again.
Yep. But I do like the Finch app. It does a whole lot of things. Like if you're in a panic mode or something, if you go on there, it has breathing exercises. It has like awareness exercises. It is helpful.
I like it a lot.
I like it. And it helps you to set little goals. So I feel even on the days that I'm like, okay, I really just can't do a lot because I'm just going to kill somebody. You accomplish little goals. There's little things, and I was saying before, I have little goals on there. Like, okay, if I'm having one of those days, I know one of my goals is take my shoes and socks off and go outside and stand in the grass for a minute. Now I won't be able to do that in, January, but for right now, that does absolutely help me ground some of that energy out. And
yeah, I can't wait to go out. I wasn't outside at all today. I was just in here doing bookwork and videos, and I didn't step out. Oh no, I went to get the mail and take the trash out. That's not fun. But tomorrow after work,
I will say that's the one good thing about being in a place that I can't just send my dog out. I have to actually walk him, is that it forces me. I have to take him for a walk at least twice a day, like a halfway decent walk. So that actually forces me to be outside, no matter if it's windy, cold, rainy, snowing, whatever. I have to at least step outside twice a day and take a decent walk. So
that's good.
It's a good thing.
Ty's keeping you on your toes.
Yes, yes, he is.
He's
All
like,
right, so the tarot can be a really good
oh,
tool. Yes, I do like that fabric behind you. That's pretty.
oh, it's black and white actually, and then we have a grow light that's lighting it up. That's why it looks purple.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't have
cool.
a backdrop, and like all my candles and stuff are so far back, you couldn't see it anyway. So
Right?
I need to upgrade my camera though for sure.
Yeah, the thing's freaking.
Yeah, I might have to switch cameras.
Whoops.
Oh, hang on, hang on.
Psychedelic.
I'm giving them something to look at for a second. Technical difficulties.
Wow. Yeah, that thing's moving. That's fine.
We have
Oh no,
psychedelic things going on with the camera.
I know what is going on. I have no idea. So anyway, go ahead while I'm messing with my camera.
Okay, so tarot can be a great tool for anything. That's if you have never done tarot, I recommend at least doing. Hi, Cindy. Welcome. It's okay that you're late. No biggie. I recommend at least doing a one card draw a day and journaling a little bit, even if it's 2 lines. What did you think of it? What does the card remind you of? Something, and that will help you to get to know the tarot a little bit better. If you do know tarot, again, I try to at least I pull one tarot and one oracle card now a day. I used to do 3 tarot and 1 oracle, but I'm down to 1 and 1 because I just want a little hint of, what kind of energy should I be expecting today? Boom shot.
Do you know if I have to end the live stream to change the oh, maybe it's going to behave. I have another camera hooked up. I just don't know how to switch it while being online.
Well, it's going. Well, it looks like it might calm down for now. Maybe.
Okay, good.
Knock on wood. So I want to talk about a couple different decks that I like a lot that kind of scream tarot energy to me. We can talk about a couple different decks. And I mentioned last week this tarot, which is the Hour Tarot. This is a deck that is all about women in history, and each card is a different woman, and the guidebook is huge and thick and chunky and tells their story for each card. So I picked one card for this week. It's like the first card that I ever read, I think, from this deck. And let's start with that, and I'll kind of read the story and tell you about this this woman in history. Again, it's called the Hour Tarot. I'm trying to think. I feel like it is kind of a mass market deck. I know it wasn't. Trying to remember.
Does it have a creator on it?
It does. It's Sarah Shipman.
Oh, thank you. Shipman. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Sarah Shipman. And it's called Our Tarot, and it's a guidebook and deck featuring notable women in history. I'm trying to remember. I might have gotten it from Kickstarter or something originally, but maybe not. Honestly, I can't remember. I have a few decks, and so sometimes I can't really remember. You getting hot flashes? Okay. I was worried about that because I turned my air off because it's actually decently cool in here, but that means I don't really have a real fan. But so far, I'm okay.
Well, I was adjusting the fan.
Okay, so the first card we're going to talk about, I'm going to try to do a card a week. This is the High Priestess card. And her name is Hildegard of Bingen. Hildegard of Bingen. And talk about historical. We are talking about way, way back in history. And I will read her story here because it's really fascinating, and I found it to be really interesting. She was actually born in 1098, so a long, long, long ass time ago, in Germany, the Holy Roman Empire at that time. Hildegard of Bingen was a woman of many accomplishments. Her musical compositions, such as the Ordo Veritum, the Play of Virtues, are still admired and performed to this day. Over the span of her career as a Benedictine nun and abbess, which I was like, a nun and abbess. Okay, so I have to admit myself, I kind of turned off for a while. I was like, okay, nun and abbess, whatever, la la la. But she was pretty freaking cool for her day. Hildegard studied and wrote about philosophy, theology, botany, and medicine. Her accomplishments were inspired by mystical visions she had throughout her life. In the Life of Saint Hildegard, which originally was called Vita Sancta Hildegardaris, which she wrote in 1180, it was a biographical collection of her writings. And Hildegard stated that she experienced these visions from the age of 3. So she started having visions at age 3.
Wow.
She was also frequently ill. She was like a sickly child. She said that her visions and sickliness predate her arrival at the monastery and might have persuaded her parents that their decision to tithe her to God was more than appropriate. So, in other words, her parents gave her to the nunnery.
Oh, wow. Because of visions?
Apparently, in those times, if you couldn't feed your kids, or you had a lot of kids, or you were poor and stuff, you could give them to the nunnery or the priesthood to kind of help raise them so that they would then grow up to be priests and nuns. And that was like at least respected at the time.
Right. Yeah.
But she was really young. Like, I think she was 3 to 5, somewhere around that. At around age 8, she was put in the care of a young noblewoman named Jutta, with whom she took vows to become a nun 6 years later in 1112. Jutta became her teacher and confidant. It would be with Jutta that Hildegard first shared details of her visions. After learning to read and write from Jutta's instruction, Hildegard educated herself in other areas by learning simple musical notation, working in the garden, and tending to the sick. So here's a little bit bigger picture of that, so you can maybe see her a little bit. It was during this time that she became increasingly insightful about her study of scripture. At the age of 24, she had a vision which she later described, saying, "I saw an extremely strong, sparkling, fiery light coming from the open heavens. It pierced my brain, my heart, and my breast through and through like a flame, which did not burn. However, it warmed me. And suddenly, warmed. And suddenly I had an insight into the meaning and interpretation of the Psalter, the Gospel, and the other Catholic writings of the Old and New Testament. Hildegard earned the respect of her fellow nuns, was elected as their magistra after Jutta died in 1136. So now she's the head of the nunnery. Not wanting to be under the authority of her local abbot as a prioress, Hildegard sought permission from her male superior to move her community of nuns to nearby Rupertsberg to establish a more independent convent. So she decided she didn't want all the male nuns and to be lauded over her and tell her what she could do and couldn't do, which is a huge thing at that time.
I'm surprised she wasn't like hung or something.
Right? At first, her request was denied, but she did not relent. In approximately 1150, she came down with a mysterious illness that paralyzed her, leaving her unable to move from her bed. She and her male superiors regarded her ailment as a sign from God that her wish to establish the convent was right. So, okay, you got paralyzed. I'll let you go and start your own convent with all women. Only then did she recover from her illness, and she was able to establish her convent with approximately 20 other nuns. So I, of course, have to wonder if she was faking it just a little.
Maybe.
Just a little.
Maybe.
But if not, then she definitely was supposed to do her own thing.
Right.
I know, right? Back in this time, in her theological text, Hildegard wrote that while she had frequent visions from childhood, she did not record them. I saw all this and then I refused to write, she confessed, not out of stubbornness, but out of a sense of my inability, for fear of skepticism of others, the shrugging of shoulders, and the manifold gossip of mankind. Until God scourged through me on a bed of illness. There, finally, overcome by much suffering, I set my hand to write. So she was worried about what other people would think. It sounds familiar to all of us, I would think.
Right.
They probably just didn't want to deal with her anymore, right? Like, okay, shut up, you old nun.
I know.
There, overcome by suffering, I set my hand to write. The accounts of her visions, which she experienced through sight, touch, and sound, detail religious concepts and stories about creation, the structure of the cosmos, and God's relationship to human beings throughout history. So vividly, she was able to describe what she saw that artists could illuminate her manuscripts. The art that resulted is unique for its time and a testament to the significance of her visions, whether they were divinely inspired or expressions of her highly creative powers. The theology that she detailed in her manifested works, the 82 songs play out a Christian history of sin, repentance, and forgiveness. Her writings that dealt with medicine are less connected to her visionary experiences than to the practical skills. So she also very much so tended to the sick, and she became an herbalist and knew what herbs, helped what things. So come on, she was totally a witch.
Oh, yes. I know who she is now. As
Do you?
soon as you said herbal, I'm like, oh, duh.
Yeah. She was definitely a witch of her time.
Oh, yeah.
She wrote 2 volumes detailing her scientific knowledge, Physics, which describes the medicinal properties of many plants and animals, and Causes and Cures in 1160, an exploration of human anatomy and the symptoms and cures of various ailments. Mysteriously, Hildegard felt divinely inspired to invent a secret language and alphabet she called lingua ignota. So then she wrote her own language. Okay, once again, big time, she was a witch.
I'm going to see if I can find it and see what it looks like.
Right? No one had been able to satisfactorily explain why Hildegard felt moved to invent her own enigmatic code or to ascertain whether her nuns or anyone else shared her secret with her. Frustratingly little is known about it. Hildegard of Bingen's life and work was the result of her strong connection to the spiritual realm. It was necessary for her to maintain this connection because when she stopped herself from expressing her visions and the knowledge she gained from them, she became physically ill. The High Priestess, which is her card, is a card of mystical experiences and secret knowledge. If you have a religious or spiritual practice of any kind, this card invites you to explore its origins and further examine its place in your daily life. So, to me, this was a great example of, being a crone in your own right, because we're talking about someone who lived, back in the 10th century and was a trailblazer in so many ways, which, like you said, is a huge deal. I mean, she's lucky she wasn't killed for it.
I know. Yeah. A lot of people died for much less, for sure. I don't have a high priestess with an older person image on it. I only have 3 tarot decks down here, though.
That's okay. I have seen quite a few tarot decks with some older high priestesses. I will say that they are usually not mass market type decks.
Yeah.
Although I shouldn't say that. Some mass market decks are fine with that, and especially now, it's so different than it was, when I first started tarot. Disco dab. We need a mirrored ball.
I know.
Bringing down the house.
I have my lighted ball thing. Oh, did you shut it off or did it die? Oh my God, it died.
But when we first started tarot, There wasn't, the decks that were available, you kind of lived with. There was, I mean, not like there wasn't any, but there was a lot less choice at that
There was
time.
a lot less choice. Yeah.
And even when it started to explode, they kind of, I swear there was a lot of like teenage boys making decks or something, because there was a lot of scantily clad women at first. And
Yeah, and they were all thin and white.
yes,
So I'm
yes,
glad we've gotten out of that.
yes, me too. Me too. There are a lot less of that. So I did want to show. There's one deck that I will say, if I had to pick one deck for Crone Energy, it would be this deck, and it's probably a little obvious, but I love this deck. It's the Tarot of the Crone. This is an Ellen Lorenzi Prince deck, who she also did the Dark Goddess decks.
Is that
I
indie?
swear. What's that?
Is that indie?
It is. However, the Dark Goddess deck, she just came out with last year as like I think a mass market deck last year. So I'm really hoping she does the Tarot of the Crone also. And I swear when she mentioned it a couple years ago, it was supposed to be both of them were coming back out. So hopefully this will come back out. This is one of my absolute favorite decks of all time. And it was before I became a Crone, but now especially as a Crone, I will say that I adore this deck. If you get a chance, follow her on Facebook. She's making another deck right now that is tentatively, I think it's just called the Dark Goddess 2 deck or something. She's creating another one that you can follow her work in, and has been massively inspiring. She's the one that wrote about, if you heard me talk about when I came back from my trip, I talked about the Goddess of Never Not Broken.
Yes.
And
Yep.
that's in her new deck that she's doing.
Oh, yum.
So
Okay.
this deck in particular, she sent me, and somewhere I have a larger copy, like more information of the book. But even this, little book that it comes with is absolutely awesome and just describes things so well. So if you look at, I'll just show some of the cards here, but that's the Fool. And admittedly, some of them I look at and I think, I don't know what the hell that means. This is not a deck. I will tell you right off the bat, this is not a deck I use for readings for anyone else. This is just for me.
Yeah, more intuition, right?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
The Magician. And this is a deck that when I read with it, I will pull the card, look at it, see what it means to me, what I think it means, and then I look at the book specifically. There's the Priestess.
Oh, she's beautiful. Standing Stone.
And she, yes. As a matter of fact, that's one I'm going to read you really quickly, just the from the book, so you get an idea. She's just incredible. Her outlook on this deck was very much, she knew exactly how to touch us Crone people here. She starts out each one with a poem about the card. So this one is, I am the oracle. As keeper of the circle, I speak for my sisters. As keeper of secrets, I speak for stars. I know where power lies. I speak only truth. I speak only silence. I speak in a language few understand. The Priestess is a standing stone, the foremost among a group. Unlike her sisters, she has a face to engage you, to look at, and through you and her eyes glow with the same light of old knowledge as in the waning crescent above her head. The Priestess is stone because her knowledge is most often found in silence and stillness, with patience and devotion. So it goes on, but that gives you an idea of like the power that she just is so amazing.
Right. She looks comfortable by herself.
Yes. And all of these cards are not, even the Emperor does not show really a male figure. It's just, an obelisk.
Yeah. Very commanding though, right?
Yes.
Oh, I love
So
those.
that instead of the Hierophant, that is tradition. And it's like we follow spiritual guidance from our ancestors and our female ancestors from before and from before and before again.
Oh, I love that Hierophant. I'm not a
This
Hierophant fan ever. So,
is 6, which is traditionally the lovers, and this is Crossroads.
huh.
The Chariot.
Oh my gosh. So cute.
One of my favorite Justice cards. I absolutely adore this card.
Oh yeah. Ariadne or
Yeah.
Arach.
Or Athena in certain forms, or the Hermit,
Oh, cute.
the Wheel, which is the Labyrinth.
Oh, I like that. I love labyrinths.
I
I
do
need to
too.
build one.
I did see, who was it? Somebody was saying they looked up labyrinths because I posted that link, and they said there was some right next to their house. So
Oh, cool.
Sacrifice. This is Sacrifice, which is traditionally the hanged man,
Wow, so sad.
right?
Oh,
Just so good. What is? I'm trying to find. There is. They're all really good. The star that is, I believe, on the cover of the deck.
oh yeah, she's beautiful. I like her. My favorite color.
Um, and then this is Judgment, which is calling. It just is a really,
Boy,
really super powerful deck. So
yeah,
um,
yeah. With the
instead
judgment,
of,
you see the folding around and judging you, and then
right?
I like
I know. I hate that. It has
that.
the regular 4 suits, but instead of the Page, Knight, Queen, King, we have the Beast is the Page, and then the Witch is the Knight,
Oh, she's beautiful.
and then the Grandmother is the Queen,
She's cute.
and then the Shadow is the King.
Huh.
So really, really super powerful deck. And I have been pulling from this deck for a couple months. That's a deck I've been using for my daily draws, and it's just really, really
That's
powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, I love those intuition decks that really I don't know whether it like triggers something within you or whatever, but sometimes I get different meanings than the traditional meaning of the card. You know, whatever I need to know that day type of thing.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
that's
I look more
definitely one of them.
abstract decks for that.
I will say again, there are a couple cards that I have pulled that I'm like, I have no idea. But I will tell you that every time when I've gone to the book, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so good. So
Oh,
even if I'm totally at a loss, it's a perspective thing. Like I didn't get what the perspective was supposed to be. And I'm
yeah,
like, then, oh yeah, duh, that's what it was.
yeah.
So real quickly, let me just show you the other deck that I've been using. So the Oracle deck that I've been using to pull from with that deck is the Weaver's Oracle. Have you heard of this one?
Oh no. Oh, they're beautiful.
This deck,
Ooh, pretty.
this is an independent deck, but this is one of those decks that like I cried when I opened it. It is super, super powerful. It is
I love that.
this was today's pull. So here, this is one of the cards.
Oh wow. What is she?
And she is the ochre. She's the Ugden of the Spirit Spindle. So you see like her pendulum breasts and the paint across her and the fur around her. It's each card has a story to tell, and she has, I think it's 4 different clans. It's from Carolyn Hillier. And there's the Bone Clan, the Guardian Clan, the Earth Clan, the Blood Clan, and the Life Clan. Nope, and the Loom Clan. So there's 5 or 6 different clans. But each card is absolutely stunning. It is.
Instead of suits?
What's that?
Is that instead of suits?
Yeah, there are no suits at all. They're just different clans, and it means how they connect to us and to Earth. And it's Seventh Wave Music. That's the publishing house that puts this out. It's actually, I think it's in. I know it's across the pond. I'm trying to remember if it's in Germany. No, it's in England. Huh. The cards themselves are just, they're just stunning. And they all have such an amazing story.
Oh, wow.
That you just can't help but see yourself in some of these. And it's literally Carolyn, the author, she talks about having these women visit her, and that's how she chose women to be in the Oracle.
Oh, that's cool.
And so she was visited by all these women who told her their stories through time.
Wow.
And they all, they just, all of them have their own histories behind them. There's different, anthologies from different parts of the world. They all look different.
That's good. I like when a deck's inclusive like that. Just all sorts of people. Yeah. Oh, she's pretty.
They all, the stories that they tell are.
It looks like she had the chakras on her necklace.
Oh, yeah, totally did.
Oh, not quite, but
almost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she could have had a higher chakra on there too. I'm gonna try to just, I don't know, pick one, and we'll read a little bit of the story so you can see a little bit of what she talks about with them.
Oh, she's beautiful.
So this is the moon card. Like I said, the book is amazing. Again, this is another one that I don't use for readings. This is really just for, work for me. They come with, it's literally 2 pages of a story and stuff, but I'll read the beginning of it, which is her yarn. This kind of tells where she comes from and what she uses around her. It says, she is the Udagan of the human heart. She reflects the light of the souls. There was a woman who sat insubstantial as a constellation or a mirage beside the cold lake beneath the moon. What story might be shaped around that ethereal moon and water woman? Although she dwelled only in the night world, she was always illuminated. Each particle that formed her nature, each facet of her soul, was infused with truth and tenderness. She was created and sustained wholly out of love. There was only one thing about her that maintained solid form. She had custodianship of a simple black wooden jar. Into that ancient vessel, during long coils of time, she had collected many waters, rains, dew, rivers, tides, and tears. She had also gathered many kinds of light, so that inside the jar, the reflections and harmonies of watery and fiery elements perpetually moved together. She had caught shivering arcs of lunar radiance, the restless frenzy of northern skies, and the sun's blaze thrown onto the surface of planets. She had carried the light of stars illuminated by time, ice illuminated by fire, flames illuminated by explosive energy, and eyes illuminated by happiness and grief. She
You
was
gotta
able to. What's that?
move the card back.
There we
Oh,
go.
there she is.
She's there.
Sorry.
She would gaze down at that abundant fluid light until her face reflected it out into the world. Thus she became a mirror that caused other souls to shine.
That's beautiful. And that's light coming from her vessel there, right? By her
Yeah.
solar plexus.
Yeah.
Mm, wow. She's gorgeous.
So I highly, highly, highly recommend that deck. It is it's like a healing deck, kind of takes everything that you're going through and walks you through it and pulls stuff from you that you didn't even know you needed pulled from you.
Right.
It's really, really fantastic.
Yeah, that would be a great one for daily draw. Just kind of giving you some insight, maybe what's lying underneath.
Yeah,
You need to look at or something to be wary of for that day or whatever.
definitely, definitely. Hi, Lori. So again, that was Weaver's Oracle, and that is Caroline Hillier.
Amazing artist. Wow.
Yeah, super, super, really good artist. As far as regular old tarot decks, there are, I have a lot more, obviously, that I won't go through all of the decks that, feel Crones to me, but we can kind of talk about some of the individual cards. This one is not in order. That feel Crone. Of course, all the queens at some point or another can be Crone energy because it's a mature woman.
Mm-hmm.
They are not always portrayed as mature women, but that's the energy of that specific card. I always thought of the world is as a Crone card.
Oh yeah, because of completion, right?
Right.
You know what does a really nice job at Crone imagery is Colette Barron's reads the Good Tarot. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I like the imagery. It reminds me of
Yeah.
there's another Oracle deck, but the King of Air, the King of Fire, and they're all different nationalities, which I love.
Yes.
And then Earth.
Oh yeah.
And then this is my favorite. No surprise. I'm a water baby, big time. So
yeah. That's
and then
really nice one.
Magician is beautiful too. He's elderly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Merlin-esque. Yep.
Yep.
For sure.
Those are fun.
I like that tarot too. I know a lot of people pick on that tarot. It is
It's
somewhat fluffy sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need that.
You don't feel like dealing with any bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need a hug deck that, isn't going to jab you in the stomach. And that's a really good one for that. So yeah, the World card is a good card for that energy. The High Priestess can be, again, a good card for that too. I also think of the Hermit, depending on, what stage you're in, how you're feeling. for the
Right.
day.
Yeah, actually, the modern witch tarot has a hermit that's a woman that's old, which I liked
Oh, nice.
a lot. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
This one here, it's
Oh,
older.
yeah. That's a good one. That is a good one. I really like, there's a lot of good Crown energy in the Vision Quest deck. That's a mass market deck. I think they might have changed it a little bit from this version, but I'm pretty sure it's still available anyway. I hope it's still available. It was a couple years ago.
I'll check on it. You should see my list. Oh no.
But like the Empress in that deck is grandmother.
Oh, I love her. What's the turtle represent? Wisdom?
It depends on the tribe.
Oh,
Sometimes it's wisdom, sometimes it's abundance of life.
oh yeah, I could see that. They live forever.
Sometimes there's several different meanings depending. This one, the Hierophant, and this one is shaman, which again is kind of an old wise person. Love the wolf in that.
I know it. He's beautiful.
But there's a lot of really good crone energy in this deck. I love the transformation card, the instead of death, the transformation card. This is one of the best death cards ever.
Oh, I love the owl.
The moon in the background and just love. This is a really good deck. I haven't used it in quite a while, but might be time to pull it out again.
It's hard to have
Moon.
time.
I've seen a lot of moon cards that are good crone energy too. We were saying there's a lot more oracle cards, I think, that have that crone energy in it.
Yeah.
Than tarot. I could probably, if I, were to really look around, I could probably, show you 20 different oracle decks, but I don't want to go into that much of it. But I will say the newest one I got, I don't even think I've done an unboxing of this one, is Sharon Blackie's got one called The Rooted Woman. This is an oracle deck. That is, and she's the author for, the Haggitude book that I like, and the Woman Rose Rooted, or the Rose, whatever that one is.
I haven't done anything else but Haggitude, so I'll have to look it up. I like her writing style.
Yeah.
She's very casual,
I do too. I wish she would do her own audio. I like it when the authors do the audio so you can hear their their voices, but
oh wow.
There's some really, really amazing cards in this one. The whole deck is really good for crone energy, but there's some really great cards specifically for crone energy.
Oh wow. I don't know. Is that a goddess? Pepperina? What was that other one?
Peregrina is, it means the beginning of a journey. There's like when you're starting out on a new journey, and even though crone energy is abound, we start out on a new journey all the time,
Right.
and then the end of the journey is the rooted part. When you're at the end of a journey, you're rooted. So it's like the beginning and the end of a cycle.
Nice.
So pretty. And then look at backs of the deck. So pretty.
Oh yeah. Those are pretty.
So that's a really, really good one for Crone Energy. And then I will show you.
Rochelle wants to know what the name of that deck was.
Oh yeah, Rooted Woman. The Rooted Woman Oracle. That's Sharon Blackie who wrote the Haggitude book. She also wrote I think it's the Woman Rose Rooted. It's a tongue twister. But yes.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't read that Haggitude by Sharon Black, is it Sharon Blackie?
Sharon Blackie. So good.
It's an excellent book.
Really, really good. This one, I believe, is now a mass market deck. I got it from Kickstarter, I think, but I think it's mass market now. This is a compendium of witches. There's
I love silhouette.
book that goes along with it. There's a regular book, but there's actually a big book too that you can get that goes along with it. That is, I believe, all out now as mass market stuff. I think it's been a while, but
Heather said if women rose rooted. That's
yeah.
hard to say.
Thank you, Heather. I know it's like a tongue twister. It definitely is. This is the memory.
Oh wow.
So how sometimes we can get stuck on a memory and kind of waste away on it instead of continuing what we need to do. And I'm dropping my cards.
Well, better that than marbles.
Right. The Seer.
Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, she's very Harry Potter-esque.
Right? Definitely. Yeah. Definitely McGonagall-esque. And then there's the Crossroads. I always just love the Crossroads.
I love any Crossroads image.
Very Hecate.
Yes. Oh, she's beautiful.
The Guardian.
Wow.
Very protective. The Veil Walker.
Oh, pretty. I love her.
The Laborer. They're all really good. And again, the longer book tells their stories, which is really nice. And I believe that's mass market now, I think. And then trying to go through these really quickly because I know just showing decks and stuff, but I want to give everyone a few so that you have a couple options. This one was one of my first Oracle decks ever, and I love the energy of this deck is amazing, and I have loved it forever and ever. This is Alana Fairchild. It's Sacred Rebels, and it's a great feminine energy deck anyways, but it has a lot of great crone energy in it. That's the backs of the deck.
Wow. Wow, look at that transformation.
Right?
That's
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah. The book is good. The images themselves, though, are very powerful. It's definitely a powerful woman. It literally went right all the way across the table and onto the floor.
Oh no.
And this is the card I wanted to show you because this is the back of the deck is called Legacy of Light.
Wow.
So it has the legacy of visions of life beyond death.
Pretty.
I hear Ty running.
Oh.
What are you doing, mister?
All my kiddos are upstairs.
So this is again, this is a really good feminine energy, inner trust. It's inner trust. I love that. Yay, Rochelle likes it too. Yeah, it's a really empowering deck for sure. And has been, that's been one of my favorites for a long, long time. And the last one I'm going to show you is again another one that has faces in it. I don't know if if faces are done well, they're really, really good. This is called the Wisdom Keeper.
I love that deck.
I
don't have it
just
yet.
love this one. You don't?
No, not yet. It's on my
This
list.
one has been out for a long time. Again, it's a mass market. I think it's, what is it? It's not Hay House, right? No, it is mass market, but it's some weird, it's like Seal Press or something, but I know it's mass market. But it's all faces, and they have lots of older women, chubby women, skinny women, different colors.
Oh, cute. She
That
looks
is
like
sensitivity,
Scandinavian with her.
right? Every time I see her, I think Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love him. Yeah.
Me too. Resolve. The faces are just phenomenal.
Oh,
Try to get it without my stupid ring light here. Determination.
Oh, yes, Heather. Babushka.
Yes. Yes.
I love.
Exactly. Altruism. And the eyes in all of them are just, they can stare right through you. You can see exactly their intentions, how they make you feel. Acceptance.
Oh, I love the beard.
Right?
Very nice.
Right. It's just really, really good. Intuition. And again, the guidebook is good. They all kind of have their own story, and so they're really good too. Those are the decks that I have pulled out today. Here's orientation.
Oh, he's gorgeous. Oh, I love all the tattooing, or is it paint? Maybe.
Either, I don't know. Either one, though. It's great that they all have their own. And then you get to this card, which is a mirrored card. So then you look at.
I was like, what the heck is it?
Yeah, it's so good though. It really is. There's a whole bunch. I know it's over 50 cards.
There's one. I pulled one out that said flow today, and I was like, oh, I just did a video, and that's like, oh, here it is. It's from the Sacred Forest Oracle.
Oh, I like that oracle.
Meandering pathway.
Oh, that's nice.
How I've really tried to start flowing around things instead of through them or over them, and it's more gentle. It seems like not so jarring, but this is from that same deck.
Oh, beautiful. Mm-hmm.
And then I love her, or him, maybe, I'm not sure, in the background. Oh, so pretty. Gorgeous. Yeah. So, and then my favorite out of this whole deck is this couple. Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's so cute. Oh, they're amazing.
I know. I love the artwork in that deck.
The face deck again was the Wisdom Keepers Oracle.
I'm gonna have to go shopping.
Right? Damn. Have to go again. It's
Don't
funny you're
talk about.
saying go with the flow and stuff. Next week we're going to be talking about some correspondences. Um, and I think it's a great series to start. We're going to talk about, we're going to pick one symptom and talk about different correspondences to help with that symptom.
Hot flashes.
Yay! Which so many of us are dealing with. The Foxara deck. Yes. You like that one too, Linda.
Oh, I'll have to
That's,
look that one up.
that's an Oracle deck. That's a mass market Oracle deck. And I'm trying to remember if I have it or if I think we had it at the shop, so I didn't buy it because I could use it at the shop. But that's one
Yeah.
I'll have to put on my list probably. Wisdom
Yeah.
Keepers might come in black and white too. That might be good.
Oh, yeah.
I like all the colors, but oh, Foxera is a tarot. I might be thinking of a different one then, because I'm picturing like this orange cover,
Oh, we'll have to look it up.
and I think it was Blue Angel. But yeah, I'll have to look it up and see which
I
one
wish
it is.
the new deck that I just got. Oh shoot! I just did a walkthrough. The Good Fortune Tarot. Is with it? Yeah, I think that's it. I wish I had brought it down because I think there's a couple of older people in there.
That's one that has been on my list, and I've been meaning to get it, and
Oh,
it
I
just
love.
hasn't. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. You know.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the Hierophant card, that would be my soul deck for sure.
Really, what is the Hierophant card?
It's religious. I don't like any religious anything.
I have a hard time
No, I'm
too.
never gonna
I
get
get
over
turned
it.
off by some of that.
Yeah. No, it's like a priest with the, is I forget what mom used to call, but they're like the things with the big crosses on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I was gonna say, I have mine is back there. I have one too. So don't forget, it doesn't just have to be priests.
I know I have one, but it doesn't
I
have a
know.
cross on it.
Mine does. I think mine does. Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does. Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Yep.
I have to do a hand fasting at Quinn's wedding at the reception
Uh,
because he's doing a Roman Catholic church, and so I can't do anything there, obviously. But he said he wanted to have some of himself in the wedding, so he asked me to do a traditional hand fasting before the first. So, that's so cute.
awesome. I
So I
had a
gotta
whole
get
lot of fun when I did
really
Mikey's.
up.
It was so great. I
Yeah,
had a lot of fun. It was really nice.
that's
It was
good.
beautiful ceremony. So
It's fun.
yes, MJ. Yes, the person who did the crow tarot.
Mm,
For Hexa. Okay, I gotcha.
yes, I like the Hierophant card in the Druid Craft.
Yes. There's so many now that are really good. That don't necessarily show. A lot of them are like the shaman or the spirit keeper or
Yep, I
they've
love
gotten
that
a lot better.
nesting doll. The nesting doll one is like perfect. How I see the Hierophant. It's
Yeah.
traditions, teachings. It's the perceived way to do things, type
Yes.
of thing.
Yes, definitely. So use your tarot decks to guide you. Pull a card a day. There's a lot of times tarot is one tool that I actually remember to use, maybe because it takes up so much of my house that it's everywhere.
Me too. Almost every morning. Not quite every morning, but almost.
So I actually do remember to do that on a regular basis, almost every day, if not every day.
Now, if we could just take the same time and give it to ourselves to meditate,
Yes, I
that
know
would
it.
be amazing.
I really need to. Now all my tarot cards are going to come out meditation. Do your meditation. Do your meditation. Yes,
Right?
yes, I know.
Hey, silly, you forgot to do something today.
No. So next week we are gonna we're gonna talk about hot flashes as a symptom, give some correspondences, talk about some ways to relieve them to help with that, including like stones, herbs,
Yep. I'll come up with
methods.
some endocrine clearing and balancing stuff. Maybe I know Rosemary Gladstar, I forget what book it's in, but she has a really good endocrine hot flash menopause like tonic that you can
Ooh,
use every
nice.
day. So I'll bring that down. I got a bunch of books out upstairs starting to
Nice.
research for it. So that'll be
Nice.
good.
Cool. I will say that sometimes you can try all the things in the books and all the things that you know about, and you just have to live with them.
Right.
I suggest a big fan next to your bed.
Yes, that one that we posted on Facebook, the whole
Yeah.
headboard was a fan. It was awesome.
Yes. I know. I don't know about how Bob does with you, but I know Peter and I some nights get into a war of he'll wake up and turn the air down or something, and I'll turn the air back up, and
Bob's
but
a
I'm like,
sweater, so he just takes care of the AC on his side. It's always cold, so I'm good. Sometimes I
yeah.
have to pull up the blanket, but it's right over his head, so
There you go. There you go.
oh,
So we'll talk about that next
oh
week.
yes, Lori. I love that. Rolling in the snow. Oh my gosh, I would give anything right now. Here it goes again. Look at me, I'm all glistening.
I know. I can't even. We'll have to really get into it. The sweat under your boobs that you're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, have you tried that Lumi yet? Have you tried Lumi?
I have not.
I
I
hear it's
I kind of
amazing.
I so should, except I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $25 for a fucking deodorant.
I
I'm
know,
like,
but
I should be able to
supposedly it
make a
lasts a
deodorant.
long time. A friend of mine, one of the teachers at work, uses it, and she says it's awesome. And she uses it for like 3 months before she has to buy a new tube of it.
Really?
So
All right, that might be worth it.
I'm gonna get a tube for Bob too. He sweats awful. Do you remember that when we were out there?
Yep. I remember.
Stay on your own side, buddy. No touching.
I remember. I lived in Churchill when I had hot flashes, and that's what I did. My friend Church. Yeah, absolutely. I love winter around here because, boy, I can't tell you how many times I just stand up and walk outside. I'm like, all right, I'm just going out for a minute because you get all red and ridiculous, and it used to be
Yeah.
really bad. I'm glad that for the most part, I didn't get them too bad. They had really just started to come on when I was finishing up doing mammograms.
Oh yes, yeah. Right before you quit working,
Yes.
you go right.
So
Yeah.
I didn't have a whole long time, but that was like ridiculous. Here I am sweating like ridiculous, and I'm like, "Hi, come here, let me touch your boobs," And
I
oh
can
god,
sweat. Have you seen me? I don't
yeah,
exercise.
I
I
know.
don't look to sweat.
I swear I took a shower. I know it doesn't look like it now, but
Right. Yeah.
it's
Oh my
terrible. So we will definitely have a in-depth conversation next week. We need to warn everyone that we're going to have this conversation so that people who may not be into this conversation can check out for next week if they want to. That's perfectly okay.
God. It's gonna be mostly medical stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
All right. Anything else? I have lots more decks and stuff. I figured I'll just do a couple decks, as kind of an offshoot and post a couple on the page or on YouTube and stuff as I do
Ooh,
them.
I'd love to have people share what other Chrome cards they come up with and what deck, and that would
Yes,
be awesome.
that would be great. If you
Yeah,
find
we
some
could do a
good
little
Crone cards or
flashlight with
Crone
them.
decks,
Bye, Heather.
definitely.
Oh, thank you, Rochelle.
All right. I'm so glad you guys came. I'm really loving these Wednesday night chats.
Me
These are
too.
great.
Gives me something to look forward to.
Yes.
Yay. All right.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
everybody, for coming. We'll see you all next week. Same
Bye
time, same
bye.
day.
Same bat channel.
Crones rule.